Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about the lesson for today. The objective of this lesson is to solve one-step equation word problems. So let's look at the first word problem. So it says Ricardo's driving 780 miles to Memphis. He drove about 3/5 of the distance on the first day. About how many miles did Ricardo drive? So we know that he is going to drive 780 miles to Memphis. So he has to cover all that distance. But so far he has covered 3/5 of that distance. So let's say that the total distance, like we said, is 780 miles. So let's represent this with this line. That's the total distance that he's going to cover. And then let's divide this the whole distance into 5 parts, because he's from the 5 parts he's only covered 3 of them. So let's highlight the 3 parts that he has covered. Like I said, this is only a visual representation of what's going on with the problem, but to actually solve it we need to create some type of equation. So let's try to put that as a sentence. So 3/5 times the total distance equals miles driven so far. So 3/5, it's 3/5 times the total distance that we need to cover, which is 780, should equal the distance that he has driven so far. So we need to, all you have to do is multiply 3 times 780, which is 2340, divide by 5, which gives us 468, and that's actually the amount of distance he has covered so far. And that's it for this problem. Let's look at the second problem. It says water flows through a hose at a rate of 5 gallons per minute. How many hours would it take to fill a 2,400 gallon swimming pool? So we have a hose that has a rate of 5 gallons per minute, and we have a swimming pool that requires 2,400 gallons of water. And we know that every minute we can at least put in 5 gallons, and we need to find out how many hours would it take to fill in the whole thing. So if we have 2,400 gallons, then we need to divide that by how much we covered so far. So we know that in a minute we cover 5 gallons, so that's why I'm going to divide by 5 gallons. So 2,400 gallons divided by 5 gallons per minute. So far we have minutes, but remember we want this as hours, but we'll figure that out later. So let's cross out the gallons. Remember, when you have the same thing on the top and the same thing on the bottom, we can cross it out. And then 2,400 divided by 5, that's 480 minutes. So we only end up with minutes, but we don't want minutes, we want hours. So now we gotta think about how many minutes in an hour. So an hour, in order for us to change the minutes to hours, we know that an hour has 60 minutes. So 480 minutes divided by 60 minutes will give us the amount of hours, which in this case is 8 hours. So that means that it would take 8 hours to fill in this swimming pool that has 2,400 gallons. And that's it. Alright, so now it's your turn. In the assignment section, click on Notes 2.2 Example 4. It's going to be a Google form. It's multiple choice. It's word problems. The word problems are easier than the ones we just did. So I think you'll be able to do them quickly, and it's not very confusing. So you don't have to do conversions or anything like that. Either multiply or divide or subtract. So just keep that in mind. So don't make them too complicated. And that's it for this lesson for today. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know and I'll be able to help you.